All right, so this video, I'll cover how we scale fashion brands to 2 to 4 million plus online with our unique fashion ad strategy. Now on this page, you can see the 14 plus fashion brands we scale, over 10 written and video testimonials from fashion founders like yourself, and some of the ad results we get. So I won't be going over them in detail in this video. You can see it all underneath this video, right? Here are some before and afters to show you this strategy works. This fashion brand went from 1.1 million to over 4.3 million in just 1 year. You can see the time frames here. This one went from 686K to over 2.4 million in just 1 year. This one went from 1 million to over 1.9 million in just 1 year. And this one went from 2.1 million to over 3.5 million in just 1 year. Now, who this is for? You own a fashion brand that makes over 35K per month online with an average order value around $100 and higher, and you want to scale to 2 to 4 million per year online while maintaining brand integrity, double your online sales, get back to the same sales you were doing before, make more profit, or if your brand does over 7.8 million a year, you want to increase sales by 10 to 20% per year. Now, if your wholesale or your storefront business is doing well, if your wholesale retail, the retail storefront, and you want to increase your direct-to-consumer business to match or outperform your wholesale or your storefront business. You currently are running ads, but sales have been plateauing and stagnating, and you don't know exactly why. You've scaled down spend because ROAS and profit are dropping. You struggle with getting new customers profitably from ads, and you don't have time to manage it anymore yourself if you run the ads yourself. Now, if you have an agency, you suspect they have no idea what they're doing because they don't specialize in fashion, and it's a junior intern running your account. They have no incentive to perform because it's just a flat upfront retainer. They are inflating their ROAS by remarketing and retargeting too much. I'll go into this later on. They're giving you excuses like, it takes 3 months to see results. It's not about the ROAS, it's about the blended CAC. When are you launching a sale? You need to release a new collection every 2 weeks, and a bunch of other things. I can go on. Now, I will cover the main problem with most fashion brands funnels and how it leads to problems like sales and plateauing, stagnating, being forced to scale down because ROAS and profit are dropping, and struggling to get new customers profitably. Then how our counterintuitive acquisition funnel drives real growth and solves all those problems above, and how to execute the acquisition funnel with our proven fashion ad strategy that we spend over $40 million a year in ad spend on across all our fashion clients. Now, here's how a marketing funnel works, just so we define everything clearly. A funnel is a marketing term used to describe the journey potential customers go through from prospecting to purchase. And these illustrations are by yours truly. Now, there are 3 main parts of a funnel. Top of funnel, which is also known as prospecting. This is where you convert strangers into new customers. Middle and bottom of funnel, which are both known as remarketing and retargeting to existing customers. Now, the problem with most fashion brands and funnels is this. They or their agency spend 40% and more of the ad spend on middle and bottom of funnel, which means they are focusing on remarketing and retargeting existing customers a lot. This leads to plateauing, stagnating, because there's only so many times existing customers will buy each month. So at a certain point, it will cap out. Second, ad spend is being burned because brands already are remarketing and retargeting to their existing customers with email, SMS, Instagram, etc. So existing customers are being spammed, and it also messes up the attribution because the sales are overlapping between their email, SMS, etc. and the ads. This means if your agency is spending 40% and more on middle and bottom funnel, they are just leeching off the hard work you already have done, which is getting the customers in the first place. And this can confuse you because ROAS looks high, but you don't know why you aren't growing as much as you want to. The truth is, ROAS is inflated and the ads aren't driving actual growth to your business. You see, there are 3 main ways to grow a fashion business: get new customers, raise prices, and make existing customers worth more. Raising prices is a completely different topic to this. Most fashion brands are good at making their existing customers worth more because they have quality products, strong branding, and a good back-end marketing like email and SMS. So the real value of ads is in getting new customers, not making existing customers worth more. Back-end marketing, email and SMS, is to make existing customers worth more. Front-end marketing, which is ads, is to get new customers. Since that is the real value of ads, the acquisition funnel focuses on that. This is how it looks like and works. Instead of spending 40% on MOF and BOF, 40% and more, we spend 96% on average. We spend 96% on top of funnel and only 4% or less on middle bottom funnel. This is the acquisition funnel. Almost all ad spend is concentrated on top of funnel because that is the biggest market for any fashion brand, known as the cold market. Strangers who have never heard of the brand before. Now, there are 3 segments of the cold market. Segment 1, people who want what the brand's selling and actively seek that type of brand. Segment 2, people who want what the brand is selling but aren't actively seeking that type of brand. Segment 3, people who have yet to decide they want what the brand's selling and aren't actively seeking that type of brand. You see, if a brand or their agency spends 40% or more on MOF and BOF, they can only capture segment 1 and parts of segment 2 because 60% or less of the ad spend is on TOF. That is how plateaus happen and how growth slows down because they can't fully capture segment 2 and scale in segment 3. The real growth happens by fully capturing segment 2 and scaling in segment 3. Here's why. Each segment higher means the audience gets colder, which means less trust and less desire to buy. Segment 1 is easy to capture because they want what the brand is selling and want to buy from that type of brand. They just need to know the brand exists and they will buy. This makes them the smallest segment. Segment 2 is bigger because they want what the brand is selling, but they aren't looking to buy from that type of brand yet. They need more convincing than segment 1. Segment 3 is the biggest because they haven't decided they want what the brand is selling yet and aren't actively even looking to buy from that type of brand. This makes them the most skeptical and least trustful. However, this makes segment 3 the biggest growth opportunity because if we get segment 3 to buy, our growth is nearly uncapped. So to fully capture segment 2 and scale in segment 3, we concentrate 96% of the ad spend on TOF. 4% of the ad spend on MOF and BOF is just enough to remarket and retarget it without ruining attribution and burning money. Once we fully capture segment 2 and scale in segment 3, the brand will never plateau ever again, never struggle with getting new customers consistently, never have to scale down, and because the amount of new customers we get is near unlimited in segment 3. This is how real growth is driven with the acquisition funnel, by being able to convince strangers to buy at scale. There is no limit on scale and the brand won't plateau. So now we covered the main problem with most fashion brands funnels that leads to subsequent problems like plateauing, and how the counterintuitive acquisition funnel drives real growth and solves the main problem, therefore eliminating all subsequent problems. So now we will cover exactly how to execute the acquisition funnel with our proven fashion ad strategy. And by the way, quick background, I'm Brandon, one of the co-founders of Digiceptual. We specialize in scaling fashion brands online with our acquisition funnel and our fashion ad strategy for over 4 years. Again, we spend over $40 million a year on ad spend across all the brands we work with using this acquisition funnel and the fashion ad strategy I'm about to share with you right now. Now, this is everything I'll cover on our fashion ad strategy. How selling bestsellers is the key when scaling the cold traffic, channels we focus on and which channels to avoid to maximize efficiency, campaign structure and budget settings so we avoid fat in the ad accounts, accurate attribution setup, copy-paste audience settings, optimal fashion ad copy, the most effective fashion creatives that convert strangers into new customers, our 3-phase fashion ad system, viral testing system we use to keep ROAS consistent and increasing, understanding key scaling metrics, how we scale sustainably, and our acquisition tweaking checklist. Now, selling bestsellers. The products we focus on are selling bestsellers. The bestsellers are the products that make up the majority of sales compared to the rest of the products. We check this by going to the analytics in Shopify and going to the section called Top Products by Units Sold. The reason why is because they have demand in the market. This means most strangers buy the best sellers first. So what we do is simply double down on the demand to scale. We see what works, so we just do more what works and ignore everything else. Creating demand out of thin air is near impossible. We can't force people to buy something they don't want, so it makes sense selling products. So it makes no sense selling products that have little to no demand. If 2 fashion brands compete for the same audience, one leads with their best sellers and the other doesn't, the one who does will convert more audiences by default. So to do this, we drive most of the ad traffic to the best sellers page. It's one of the highest converting pages to date across all the brands we work with. Next, channels to focus on. Facebook and Instagram are king. It's still the best platform to get new customers at scale. They're one of the platforms that own all users globally, except China. We only start advertising on other channels once Facebook is scaling a lot, unless the brand is already advertising on other platforms. If they are, we just integrate them into the strategy. Now, campaign structure and budget settings. We use this structure to scale all our clients. So you see, there's 4 in total. TOF viral testing, this is where we test 24/7 what creators convert new customers and why. And I'll dive more into the how later on. Budget settings are ABO only. This is so we have the most control on testing to get accurate results. TOF scaling. This is where we mainly scale profitable ads that we tested profitably in the TOF viral testing campaign. Budget settings here are CBO, and I'll cover more on the how to scale later. Now, TOF Advantage Plus, which is ASC. As of this time, this is one of Facebook's newest campaign settings. We use this to scale profitable ads on these campaigns too, but we don't rely on them because it's a black box. Facebook has the most control and no one knows exactly how it works except them. This is why we use ASC alongside our core TOF scaling campaigns, which is this one. If for some reason ASC changes or Facebook decides to take it away, we are safe because we have our own scaling campaigns where we know exactly what is going on. So to us, ASC is just a cherry on top. Now, MOF and BOF, these are just used to re-engage people who interacted with social media and existing customers. Again, this is the least focused part. Every single campaign's objective is only conversions, not view content, not add to cart, conversions only. Now, here I'll zoom in so you can see this part. Here, the campaign structure is an action from one of our fashion clients. For this brand, we don't even run any MOF and BOF as 100% TOF. The phases you see in the campaign names we'll cover later on. So you can see we run ASC campaigns alongside our TOF campaigns. You can see, look, the top one is Advantage Plus. And here we go, TOF Phase 1 Scale, CBO Relaunch is also TOF. So these are our TOF scaling campaigns, and we also have the Advantage Phase 1 campaign with us. And Sandbox is our internal word for viral testing. So you see Sandbox here, that is where we test ads to understand what gets new customers to buy. So you can see it in action right now. So here we go. Now, accurate attribution setup. iOS 17 was released in September of 2023. The biggest impact it has on tracking is with its feature called link tracking protection. What it does is automatically erase any UTMs, which is a fancy word for the code in any website or ad link that tracks the click on Apple devices. This means if a brand tracks with GA, Google Analytics, it isn't reliable anymore since GA's tracking is based on UTMs. It will get worse as the market fully adopts iOS 17. The best solution to get accurate tracking right now is getelevar.com. We use that with all our clients. Now, audience settings. So there's a client example. We focus on locations that are the main markets and exclude everything else. This is to prevent Facebook from overspending in places it thinks has potential. For example, for our client above, their main market is the US, so we advertise in the US only. Age and gender depends on the target audience. In this case, 18 to 65 plus is perfect, right? Women, they're a women's fashion brand. Now, we don't do any custom audiences like lookalike audiences because they cap out quickly at scale, which leads to ad fatigue. Instead, we only go to broad audiences and interest audiences that have an audience size of over 50 million. To clarify, broad audiences means we just target the whole market with those audience settings above, no interest audiences included. Interest audiences means we use a detailed targeting setting and select interest. You can see, look, it says interest right there. At this point, we know exactly what interest audience with an audience size of over 50 million works, so we rarely do any testing here. Broad audience ad sets use ABO settings. Interest audience ad sets use CBO settings. This completely eliminates ad fatigue and allows us to focus on what matters most, viral testing creatives. So with these audience settings, ad fatigue is not even a problem anymore. I mean, not ad fatigue, audience fatigue. So our fashion ad copy framework, we keep it very brief and direct. The framework is 1 to 2 lines that communicates the brand message and what they offer. We use little to no emojis, and if we do, we keep it 1 to 2 max. We rarely use hashtags. 99% of the time, we don't use hashtags. Anything with a lot of emojis and hashtags give a cheap, fast fashion vibe. Quality products don't need long copy or hype to sell it. Below are some client examples with our fashion ad copy framework. You see here? Maybe I'll zoom in here so you can see it. Very clear, communicates the brand, communicates what they offer. Same here, communicates the brand, communicates what they offer. Now, copy isn't our main focus because it doesn't make the biggest difference in ads. Creatives do. So our goal with copy is to test and find a winning angle quickly. Once we find a winning angle, we just use the same copy for all the ads, so we focus on creatives. We never mention discounts or promotions in the copy because it attracts discount shoppers, not people who want to shop with the brand. These are two very different customers. Obvious exceptions are if it's specific holidays like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or events, like specific events to them, then the copy changes. Now, the most effective fashion creatives that convert strangers into new customers. These are the kind of creatives we avoid for ads: fashion shows, expensive shoots and fancy editing, and curated UGC. Now, fashion shows have their time and place, but for scaling online, it's totally unnecessary. It's extremely expensive and time consuming for only a brief moment in time. This means it's impossible to replicate and to make at scale because it's inefficient. It also doesn't convert new customers well because it's unrelatable. It looks fancy, that's it. Same thing goes for expensive shoots and fancy editing. Now, why do we avoid curated UGC? To us, curated UGC is a gimmick in fashion and a crutch for a bad strategy. In the beginning, it worked because it was new, so many brands hopped on the bandwagon. But like all gimmicks, eventually the return diminish because of the bandwagon, and the market becomes aware of the gimmick. If brands pay the same curated UGC, HGC, quote unquote, and the creators as everyone else, they lose uniqueness in the market because from the market's perspective, they just see the same styles, scripts, and creators in the videos, and they catch on to what's happening. So using some common sense, if brands try to differentiate themselves with created UGC like everyone else, eventually no one's different. Meanwhile, on the flip side, creators are happy to keep jacking up the price because they just want to make the content. They aren't directly responsible for turning a profit with it. Some of our clients tried curated UGC ads, and if it converts, they only last 2 to 3 weeks at most. So it's not worth investing in expensive gimmicks that will only last 2 to 3 weeks at most if it works. Quick story on this. One of our clients does multi-million a year in sales, and we spend around at least like 30, 40K per month online. One day she messaged us that she was very happy that the ROAS increased even more and asked what changed. Simple. All we changed was turning off all created UGC ads. From then on, she stopped paying for it. She was paying roughly 11K per month for it. The founder is the creative director and designer, so they understand the brand the best. They should never outsource creative direction or they end up looking like everybody else. Now, what about organic UGC? We've tested organic UGC and it do work better and lasts longer than curated UGC because it's unique to the brand. Organic UGC can be customer making real review videos and testimonials, influencers actually buying the product and making a raving review about it, etc. It's a nice edge to have if the brand has it, we use it, but it's not our main focus. You see, raw creatives are the most effective creatives for fashion. There are 3 types of raw creatives: product shots only, product shots on a model with a plain background, lifestyle, which is products on a model in a specific lifestyle setting. The model doesn't have to be famous like Gigi Hadid. Just use models that fit the brand. Products are not shot with clips, so clips are used to fake the fit. No fancy equipment needed, can be shot on an iPhone or just a good quality camera, and there's little to no editing or retouching. Here are some examples of the 3 types of raw creatives from our clients. Here's a product shot only, here's a product shot on a model with a plain background, and here is a lifestyle shot. Now, why are raw creatives the most effective for fashion? 1, in a social media world where everything can be easily faked, enhanced, and be obscured, people want authenticity. Raw creatives authentically show the market what exactly makes the brand different from everyone else. 2, human nature rarely changes. If the product has demand in the market and the creative conveys the lifestyle and message they want, they will click and buy. This fundamental principle never goes away. Trends, gimmicks change and die all the time. Fundamentals rarely change and never die. 3, they scale the longest. We have the same raw creative scaling in the cold markets for months, sometimes even over a year, without changing anything about it. 4, most of the creatives a brand has and will continue to make are raw creatives, so there's no need to go out there and spend a bunch of money to be fancy or on gimmicks. They stick to what works and double down on it. 5, it's efficient to make. The turnaround time from idea to reality is extremely quick, unlike fashion shows or curated UGC. Now, the 3-phase fashion ad system. The 3-phase fashion ad system is a system we made that particularly scales all our fashion clients. Now, the 3 phases are phase 1, window shopping; phase 2, bestseller video/gift ads; phase 3, DPA ads. Now, we only move to the next phase once the current phase is profitable. Now, phase 1, window shopping. We start with window shopping because strangers love to window shop, quote unquote, before deciding to click and buy. They want to see what the brand offers and what the brand's about because they, segment 2 and 3, have never heard of the brand before and have the least trust. All right, so to do this, we use carousel ads. Now, carousel ads are best for window shopping because we can show off the brand the most. Audiences can look, and once the creator resonates with them, they will click. We make a minimum of 3 carousels with the top 8 to 10 bestsellers. Each carousel has the exact same bestsellers in the exact same order, but different creatives of each bestseller in each carousel. And this will be important later on. So 3 different creatives for every bestseller, 1 creative in each carousel. And here's a visual to show how it looks like. You can see, look, carousel 1, 2, 3, horizontally, the bestsellers are the same, but vertically, the creatives are different for each bestseller. Now, single image ads. Single image ads are an extra in phase 1. We only run it alongside carousels and the brand can consistently keep it in stock at scale. The reason why is because if the single image ad becomes one of the best ads, but the brand can't fulfill the demand, the market's going to blast their social media with complaints. But from our perspective, we wouldn't want to turn off the ad because it's the best ad. Turning it off means we kill all the momentum we had, and Facebook punishes that. With carousels, we avoid this problem because there are other images that sell other bestsellers. So even as the carousel scales and one of the product in the carousel is out of stock, we are okay. Now, there are some exceptional cases, so if we do want to run single image ads alongside the bestsellers, we take the top 3 bestsellers and make 2 ads per bestseller. One ad is the best product creative, the other is the best lifestyle creative. So we will have 6 single image ads in total. But 9 times out of 10, this is what we do. We take the highest converting image in the carousel, make sure the brand has sufficient stock for it first, and then take that same image and run it as a single image ad. Now, we don't use text overlays over the images, carousels included. We've tested this extensively and it never resulted in a profitable scale. Like for example here, nothing against Shoreditch Ski Club, just using them as an example. Quite often, it makes the overall performance worse. Text overlays are more for branding purposes. It doesn't help for conversion purposes. Now, once we have phase 1 ads ready, we launch them in a TOF viral testing campaign. We test until we get profitable carousels and still images if we're running them too, and then scale them up. Once we have profitable carousel ads, we move on to phase 2. Now, phase 2, bestseller video / GIF ads. With the profitable carousel ads, we take the exact same creatives in them in the exact same order and make them into a bestseller video / GIF ad. Each bestseller gets shown 1 second in the video or GIF. So we have 8 bestsellers. It will be 8 seconds showing the bestsellers in the carousel's order. An optional addition, sometimes we can include the brand logo, the brand slogan if they have one, and a call to action for after the bestsellers as a test. Then we show each of these parts for 1 second in the video. So examples of proven call to action lines we tested are discover new collection, explore new arrivals, and shop now. Now, why is video / GIFs only in phase 2 and not in phase 1? The reason we introduced video / GIF in phase 2 is because if we started with the video and it worked or didn't work, we can't pinpoint exactly what triggered either result since video is dynamic. There's too many things happening at once. However, with carousels, we can because images are static. In the data, we can see which images are performing and which aren't. So for the ones that aren't, we switch them out and test new creatives in the carousel until every image is performing. Because a video and a GIF is just a sequence of images. So if all the images are performing in a specific sequence and we combine them in that specific sequence into a video or GIF, it's guaranteed to convert because we proved it first in a carousel. That is our secret to making winning video / GIF ads. From there, we also scale them in a TOF scaling campaign or the ASC campaigns. Now, here is an example of a winning bestseller video or GIF ad from one of our brands. So you can see here, very simple. Boom, 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 boom. Very clean, very simple, just like that. See, with phase 1 and 2 alone, it's enough to scale the brand. There is no need with phase 3, but if you want to use it, this is what it is and how we do it. Now, phase 3, DPA ads. We take the winning bestseller video / GIF ads and we run them as DPA ads. So we go to the catalog and pick the 10 products we want to drive traffic to. This is the only exception where we don't drive traffic to the bestseller page or the homepage. Now, to wrap up the 3-phase fashion ad system, we only move to the next phase once the current phase is profitable and scaling. Phase 1 and 2 are enough to skyrocket the brand's growth. Phase 1, test and find winning carousel ads. Single image ads are optional. Phase 2, turn winning carousel ads into bestseller video / GIF ads and then scale them up. Phase 3, we take winning bestseller video / GIF ads and we run them as DPA ads and also scale them as well. Now, viral testing. The main reason why brands experience problems like inconsistent ROAS is because they don't understand what actually gets strangers to buy. They have some winning ads that are scaling, some could all be ASC campaigns, but when it fatigues, they don't know how to replicate their success. So what happens is ROAS goes down until they hopefully get other ads that can scale them back up. And this results in an up and down roller coaster. Viral testing means we actively test creatives every single week to understand what exactly gets strangers to buy. This is extremely key to convert segment 3 because they're the coldest and biggest segment. Now, here's how viral testing works on a high level. The more viral testing we do, the more we understand what gets strangers to buy. The more we understand what gets strangers to buy, the more effective creatives the brand makes, and we repeat. What results from viral testing is the winning formula. The winning formula is the ongoing list of what exactly gets strangers to buy. Here are the unfair advantages that come with it. It completely eliminates ad fatigue problems because we always have new ads we tested profitably that we can scale up whenever we see best. By far, the biggest one is the brand can rinse and repeat this winning formula to all new creatives they make. So any new creatives are almost guaranteed to convert when we launch them in ads because it contains all the proven things we tested that get strangers to buy. So here's a great example of the winning formula in action. Dior has been rinsing and repeating their winning formula in all Sauvage ads for 8 years now at the time of writing this. Each ad above is from different years. There are slight changes in each, but each one has the winning formula. Their winning formula is always has Johnny Depp. Depp has the same hairstyle, the same specific kind of jewelry, always shows his tattoos, dresses wild and loose, nothing fancy or glamorous, has the same mustache and beard, wears shades of blue, he feels free, masculine, adventurous, rebellious. He's always in nature, no cities or urban settings, blue tones and hues. Look, same hairstyle across 8 years, always showing his tattoos, same specific kind of jewelry. Look, it's not like moissanite or it's not gold, it's this specific kind of jewelry, right? Look, no clothing, loose clothing, always in blues, always outside, no cities, nothing. You see, Dior has a massive budget to play with. They can do whatever they want with whatever they want, yet they just rinse and repeat this winning formula because time and time again, it works. That is how powerful viral testing is. So now that we covered how viral testing works and the unfair advantages that come with it, we will now cover exactly how to do it on a weekly basis. Now, how to viral test? First, we compile what were or are the best performing ads in the account. Then we look for patterns between all of them. There are always patterns in all the winning ads that are responsible for converting new customers. Once we identify some, we list out all the hypotheses to test and validate those patterns. To give an example, let's say these are the best performing ads below, right? So here are some of the hypotheses we would test. Is it because of the specific jewelry they're wearing? Is it because of the light colors like pink? Is it because of these specific kind of models? Is it because the vibe feels sexy because they are showing more skin? That is a hypothesis. Once we list out some hypotheses, we test each of these hypotheses in the TOF viral testing campaign. We set the campaign budget at $20 a day minimum. 1 hypothesis per ad set, 6 ads per ad set. So it looks like this, right? So here's a testing campaign, the viral testing campaign. 1 ad set is a hypothesis, 6 ads per test. For example, for the hypothesis, is it because of the light colors like pink, we get 6 creatives from the brand that have models wearing light colors like pink while keeping the other variables like background and her jewelry the same as possible. Then we run those ads under that specific ad set. We always run each test for 7 days max. 7 days is enough time to get accurate results. Anything less is too early, anything more is unnecessary. After every 7 days, we review the results and we get either 2 outcomes. 1, at least 4 out of 6 ads in the ad set are profitable. 2, most if not all the ads in the ad set are unprofitable. If at least 4 out of 6 are profitable, it means the hypothesis is true. We keep the ad set and the profitable ads running because it's converting and we add this insight to the winning formula. If most or all the ads are not profitable, it means it's false and we turn it off. Either result is still a win because now we understand one level deeper what actually gets strangers to buy instead of just guessing. Now, tracking viral tests and making the winning formula. We have a simple Google Sheet with 3 columns. What works, all true hypotheses go here. That's the winning formula, right? What didn't work, all false hypotheses go here. What we were testing next, new hypotheses go here. This way, everyone is on the same page and we know exactly what the winning formula is and what we are doing next. We avoid testing hypotheses we've already tested. And after reviewing what worked and didn't work from the last test, we begin the cycle again by listing out new hypotheses to test in the next 7 days and then adding them in the what we're testing next column. See, and the winning formula is a column what works, like I said before. And the end result is the brand rinses and repeats the winning formula like Dior because they know what works and they just do more what works. Viral testing is how we build the winning formula quickly to be able to scale consistently without the ROAS going up and down, and we avoid ad fatigue. Next, understanding key scaling metrics. We always calculate and understand key scaling metrics before we start ads and on an ongoing basis so we know exactly where we need to be to scale profitably. Now, there are many metrics to measure, but there are mainly 2 that actually matter. Break-even ROAS and marketing efficiency ratio, which is MER. Now, break-even ROAS, this is the most important number to measure profitability on ads. To calculate this, we divide 1 by the brand's profit margin percentage. So let's pretend the margin is 50%. 1 divided by 50% is 2. That makes 2 the break-even ROAS. This means the ROAS has to be above a 2 to be profitable. However, it's better to have a margin of safety. So we increase the break-even ROAS by 50% and make that the break-even ROAS. So using the example of the break-even ROAS of 2, the break-even ROAS is now 2.5. So as long as we are above a 2.5 ROAS, we know for sure that the ads are profitably scaling. The beauty of knowing this is that now the new customers we're getting are financing the ad spend to get more new customers because we are profitable from acquiring new customers. This means that ad budgets, quote unquote, are unlimited because if we know for every $1 we put into ads, we make $4 in revenue and profit $2. Let's pretend ad spend is $1 and $1 for cost of goods sold and shipping, for example. We put that $2 profit back into ads and get even more customers at a profit. And then we just keep repeating this. That is how we outscale the competitors and experience rapid growth while being profitable. That is why understanding key scaling metrics is crucial. Also, side note, we don't measure with blended CAC, cost to acquire customer, because at the end of the day, ROAS is what matters. As long as we know we are above the safety net ROAS, we just keep scaling profitably. Now, marketing efficiency ratio. MER is used to understand how efficient a brand's total marketing spend is. It's best to calculate this after every month to make sure the brands are on track. To calculate MER, we divide the total marketing spend by the total sales they made in the last 30 days. Let's say the brand made 100K sales on 20K spent on marketing. Their MER is 20% that month. A good MER in fashion is around or at 20%. If it's over 25%, they are losing efficiency. That means something in their marketing isn't squeezing out its full value or it's getting expensive compared to the value it's generating. A few efficiency points may seem like no big deal, but when consumers are tensed up and they stop buying like they used to because of the current macroeconomic conditions, every single bit counts. In times like this, 5% extra could be the difference between being profitable and being in the red. So ROAS and MER are the two key scaling metrics to clearly understand profitability and efficiency. We do the calculations first and then ongoing so we understand what our baseline is and can scale with clarity. Now, how do we scale sustainably? We increase ad spend by 20% a day on all profitable ads. That is our go-to way to scale sustainably. Below are 3 other proven tactics we use to scale brands faster while still being profitable. So vertical scaling, we increase the budget of winning campaigns by 30% every 48 hours. It has to be 48 hours to make sure ROAS is stable and profitable. If it is, we increase again by 30%. We keep repeating this as long as ROAS stays stable and profitable after every 48 hours. Quickfire scale, we increase budget by 20%, wait 2 minutes, then increase again by 20% if the learning phase didn't reset. We keep repeating this as long as the learning phase does not reset. Now, duplicating and raise. We duplicate profitable ad sets into a new TOF scaling campaign and raise the budget by 30-40%. So here's an example of another client fashion brand result with these strategies. You can see here we spent 50.9K at a 9 ROAS and a 459K return within August 2023 with these fashion tactics that we use that I just explained to you right now. Okay, now lastly, the acquisition tweaking checklist. This is the checklist that tells us exactly what we need to tweak in ads whenever we encounter these ad scenarios to continue scaling. You see, if cost per unique outbound click or cost per click is underperforming, we change either the copy or the creative in the ad, and then we test it again, and we only change one of them at a time. If click-through rate, CTR, is low, that means the CPC is higher, which indicates the creative isn't working, so we test different creatives to find one that resonates. If cost per view content is higher than cost per click, it means people click on the ad and go to the page, but they don't take the next step. This means the page needs to be optimized. If cost per add to cart is high compared to cost per content view, it means the product page needs to be optimized because it's not convincing enough for new customers yet. Now, if there's a big drop off from cost per initiate checkout to cost per purchase, it means there's something in the checkout process that's unclear and it's causing them to drop off at the last step. Usually it's huge shipping fees, customers can't find the return or shipping policy, or they don't have the right payment providers. So we tweak this page until it works. Every time we tweak something, so using this checklist, we give Facebook 48 hours to optimize the change and see results. Anything less than 48 hours is too short. Anything more is unnecessary. We only tweak one thing at a time because more tweaks doesn't equal faster results. If there's too many tweaks at the same time, we won't know the exact cause, and it results in wasted ad spend. So by using the acquisition funnel, by spending 96% on top of funnel and 4% on middle and bottom funnel to fully scale in the cold market, driving traffic to sell bestsellers, focusing on Facebook and Instagram, using the campaign structure, which is TOF scaling, where CBO, TOF Vantage Plus, TOF viral testing, which is ABO, MOF and BOF, which is ABO, using getelevar.com to accurately track data, going to broad audiences and interest audiences over 50 million, using the optimal fashion ad copy framework, which is 1 to 2 lines that communicates the brand message and what it offers, using raw creatives and avoiding fancy shoots, fashion shows, and curated UGC for ads, running the 3-phase fashion ad system, which is window shopping, bestseller, video/GIF ads, DPA ads, viral testing every week to understand what exactly gets new customers to buy and track all the tests to make and apply the winning formula, calculating ROAS and MBR on an ongoing basis to always be profitable at scale, scaling sustainably by increasing ad spend 20% a day or with other 3 tactics, which is vertical scaling, quickfire scale, duplicate and raise, and using the acquisition tweaking checklist to know what to tweak on ads to continue scaling. That is how we scale fashion brands to 2 to 4 million plus online profitably with our fashion ad strategy. Now you can take this exact strategy and try it with your team, which is challenging, or we can do it all for you and deliver results in less time than doing it yourself. You will get new customers profitably and scale within the first month or less, scale to 2 to 4 million plus and double your sales in half the time, make more profit, never worry about plateauing ever again, have a strategic partner by your side who will give you market insights while handling this entire part of your business, never deal with bad agencies again, and you can focus on what you do best. Now, on top of doing the entire fashion ad strategy for you, we will also be your strategic partner, meaning we will have 15-minute weekly calls to go over results, fashion market insights, and what you need to do and how based on what's working. You just execute the advice. There's no junior intern or person exists on our team. You work with us directly. We'll have a Slack or WhatsApp/iMessage chat, depending on what you prefer, for daily contact and updates. Our response time is the same day, latest the next day. And to make it no risk for you to start, the first month is free, meaning it's free to start. You pay us nothing up front. If the ads aren't profitable at the end of the month, you also pay us nothing. So you only pay if the ads are profitable. It's month to month, no locked or minimum contracts. So if the ads aren't profitable at the end of the month, not only do you pay us nothing, you can cancel immediately. The reason why we do this is because we believe in delivering results first. We'll prove to you our strategy works. Everyone else wants to lock you in contracts and get you to pay expensive fees before any work is done. Now, not only do we execute the entire fashion ad strategy for you, and it's no risk for you to start, you also get these exclusive bonuses with us that give you an unfair advantage. Now, we have close relationships with people who work directly in Meta that can help solve big problems and give us updates before it's released to the public, which we also share with you so you stay on the cutting edge. Now, this is not the basic Facebook rep, although we have that too, but people at a higher level internally who can get things done fast, kind of like a secret elevator to the top while everyone takes the stairs. Now, this counts with our professional network. For example, if you want to boost your email and SMS marketing conversions, we will connect you with one of the best in the game. And we only connect our clients to professionals who actually get results. That will get you exclusive discounts to start only if you come from us. Next, we also make a bespoke ad reporting system on Trello so you can see all the ads ideas we have, ads that are live, best performing ads that didn't work, and many more depending on what you want to track. This is so you know exactly what is going on at one glance without having to go into the ad account. So the bottom line is you give us access to your ad accounts and your creatives, and we execute the entire fashion ad strategy for you. You get results handed to you on a silver platter from day one. The only part that requires your time is showing up to the weekly calls to go over results, strategy, and executing our advice. You pay nothing to start, and you only pay if it's profitable at the end of the month. If it's not, you still pay us nothing, and you can cancel immediately. Plus, you get all the exclusive bonuses that come from working with us that give you an unfair advantage. So if you're interested in taking advantage of this now to scale your fashion brand profitably online, book a call with me by clicking the book a call button below this video. Once you book a call, you will also get access to this entire document for free if you want to review the strategy again. Now, all the no risk benefits we give now may change in the future. And because it is no risk, we only take on 5 new fashion brands a month to maintain the quality results because we're doing all the work up front. If we are full for the month, I will put you on a priority list for next month to get started. So again, if you're interested in taking advantage of this now, book a call with me by clicking the book a call button below this video, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon.